Hello YouTubers and welcome back to Go Figure Customs YouTube channel. I've got another tutorial for you. This is definitely not going to be a 2-minute tutorial, however. One of the viewers wanted to know how to make your own water slide decals. I've done a video on how to apply water slide decals, and you can find that in the customizing playlist on the channel here. But they wanted to know specifically how to make water slide decals, because that is a bit of a different process than putting them on. Unfortunately, this is one of those things, again, where you're going to need Photoshop. So if you don't have Photoshop, this isn't going to work for you probably. Like my custom card backs, because I show you how to make custom card backs on here as well from start to finish. But you need Photoshop to do the graphic art part, and you need Photoshop to resize the part, to resize the images. There's probably a workaround way for this, but I don't know what that is. If you do, throw it in the comments section below. I did have a viewer say that an older version of Photoshop is available for free at this point in time. CS5, I believe, is what he told me. And that will work. So if you get CS5 for free, not only can you make your own card backs now, but you can do these water slide decals. So I've already made some water slide decals and printed them out, and I'm in the process of sealing them, but I'm still going to show you how to make them. I just wanted everything done before I did the video. So let's have a look at the computer really quick. So what I'm doing for this particular video is I'm making my barbecue figure, and he has an SCBA, which is self-contained breathing apparatus, which is what this is. And you can see I use specifically a Scott pack, just because that's the one I'm familiar with. And you can see that it has specific stickers on it. So what I did was I found a good picture of those stickers. I took it into Photoshop and I trimmed it down. So you can see here that I have found the particular sticker that went on that SCBA bottle. This is a DOT sticker, and then this is their like logo sticker, and then this is another sticker that says keep valve closed except while in use. So I took them into Photoshop and I resized them. Click on the layer and it puts a box around that, and then you can change the size by dragging the box. See? Okay, now I've made that, since I've been fooling with it, well, I just hit cancel. And it will go back to the original size. If I didn't, if I accidentally hit OK, you can go up into Edit, and Undo is grayed out because it didn't actually do anything, but if I had done something, I could hit that Undo button and it would resize it. So I took the image into Photoshop, I trimmed it down, and I resized it. And how do I know what size to get? Well, that's why I do test prints. So let's have a look at those real quick. So I did test prints of these to see. So this was the first one that I did, and you can see the logo sticker's pretty big, and this one's not too bad, and this one's pretty big, and that one's pretty big. So I just printed it off on regular paper, and then I held it up against the SCBA bottle or the backpack that I'm using, and then just kind of eyeballed it. And I was like, that's pretty big. That's not too bad. That one's way too big. That one's way too big. So I go back into Photoshop, hit V again, and resize them like I just showed you how to do that. And then I tried it again. So I resized them. They're a little smaller, but they were still a little bit too big. So I'm just printing it, again, just printing it off on regular paper. So went back into Photoshop one more time and resized them and put them up against my CBA bottle. Like, yeah, those are the size that I want. So, and I printed out on 3 different sheets of paper. I could have saved some paper and just, you know, like flipped it over and turned it around and flipped it over again. So, you know, keep that in mind if you're not wanting to waste paper, is use the same piece of paper again and again and again and again and again, because I went through 3 different sheets of paper on this test print. I didn't really need to. I could have done it on just 1 sheet, even though I printed it out 3 times. So print it out to make sure that you have the right size that you want. Once you have the right size that you want, now it's time to print your decals. Okay, you need to have a printer, obviously. Any printer will do, as far as I know. You can have like an inkjet or a laser printer, and you will need to buy decal paper, water slide decal paper. I'm not going to recommend a specific brand. I got this off of Amazon. I kind of looked around to see what had the best reviews, I think, or somebody recommended it to me. I don't remember why I picked this specific one, but this is the one I picked, and it's worked so far. So make sure, number one, make sure you buy the right paper for your printer. I have an inkjet printer, so this is inkjet paper, and inkjet paper. Oh, a laser. So if you got a laser printer, make sure you buy the laser printer paper. All right. On top of that, there's 2 different kinds of water slide decal paper. So this is clear or transparent, and I threw away the label in the other package. I also have opaque, meaning it's not transparent. So, but they're both for the inkjet. So let's have a look at the water slide decals. All right. So why opaque and why clear paper? It depends on if you want the decal to be transparent or if you want it to be opaque. Now, I printed these out on opaque paper because I don't want any of the background. I don't want it transparent. I don't want to be able to see the SCBA bottle through the sticker. If you look at the image, if you go back and look at the images that I was showing on the video of the real bottle, you can't see the bottle through the sticker. So I printed these out on opaque paper. All right. I also printed out the logo, and this is probably not going to be able to see it too well because it's really light. Yeah, you can kind of see the logo for Barbecue's patch that's on his right arm. Okay, I printed this out on transparent paper. Number one, because if I print it out on opaque paper, there will be white in between the image. And let's look at that in Photoshop. That'll be a little easier to explain in Photoshop. Okay, here's the decal magnified significantly. All right, so the checkered background in Photoshop means there's nothing under this layer. So it's just the patch itself, right? But if I print this out on opaque paper, the opaque paper will be white here. So I'll have this white in the background on this gray. And that's, if you remember the patch on Barbecue, it's just silver. So, and I can't print silver foil. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I need a special ink or a special printer. I haven't gotten that fancy yet. So if you're wanting foil decals, I can't quite help you on that. That's my next step, is to figure out how to make foil decals. If you want foil decals, go to Bad Mother Tattoos on eBay. He does fantastic stuff. That's where I get my stuff. It's reasonably priced and it's extremely good quality. And when I figure out how to do foil, you know, I'll do a video on how to do that. I'm not trying to take work away from him, but sometimes you want to make stuff that he doesn't have. So if you know how to make it, then you don't have to not have it because somebody doesn't make it for you. But anyway, so if this was opaque paper, this wouldn't be transparent in here. So this would all be white on underneath the gray, and that's not what I want. So I had to print, so I printed this out on clear paper, on the clear decal paper. Okay, so hopefully this isn't too convoluted. Watching this, I don't know, I'll put it together and watch it and see how it looks. But so hopefully you understand why I printed these out on the clear paper, because if I printed it on the opaque, there'd be white under the gray, and that won't look good when I put it on my figure. It won't look like it's supposed to. Now, whether or not, the problem with that is sometimes your design isn't dark enough, and the color will of the background of the figure will bleed through that, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen with that. But since I can't print silver, this is the best I can do. I think it's going to look halfway decent anyway. At that scale, people are just going to see that there's something resembling the original logo patch on his sleeve and say, hey, that's pretty cool, and then they'll go on with their lives and nobody will notice. I'm going to card this figure, it's going to hang on a wall. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. It'll just be one of those little details that'll look pretty cool. And hopefully you watched the last video about me talking about details, and that's where your custom will stand out, is doing little detail work like this. All right, so you've gone into Photoshop, you've resized your whatever you want to print out to make your decals, and you've done your test prints and you've got them the right size. Now what do you do? Okay, and you've printed them out on either your clear paper or your opaque paper, depending on what you want. Now what do? You're not quite done yet. Now you need to seal it. This is what I use. This is clear wood finish gloss made by Deft. This was recommended to me by the person that taught me how to make my own decals. There may be other stuff out there to seal water slide decals. There may be stuff that's specifically for sealing water slide decals. I don't know. This works really well. I haven't had any problems with this. You can get this off of Amazon too. You can get everything off of Amazon. All right, so you need to spray your decal and let it set for 15 minutes, and you need to do that 3 times. It says on the paper to seal it 3 times. So you spray it, let it sit for 15 minutes, spray it again, let it sit for 15 minutes, spray it again, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then they should be good to go. I usually, after I've sealed it for the 3rd time, I usually let it set for a couple hours, honestly. And I'm getting ready to go to work here in an hour, so these won't go on today. So the sealant will have a chance to really cure on these. I'll do it tomorrow afternoon after I get back from work. So that is how you make your own water slide decals. First, find the image that you want, take it into Photoshop, resize it, do a test print to make sure it's the size that you want. Once you have the size that you want, print it out either on clear or opaque water slide decal paper that you can get off of Amazon. Make sure you buy the right one for your printer. Either get the laser or the inkjet. I have an inkjet, so that works for me. Once you print them out, you need to seal it, and you need to seal it 3 times with the wood finish, clear wood finish sealant. Once that is sealed and cured, you're good to go. If it's time to, once these are done and you want to put them on, check out that other video here on how to put them on. And that's about all I got for you for this particular video. So if you have any questions, comments, anything else, questions, comments, be sure and put them in the comment section below. I always do get back to everybody if they have questions. And please do all that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. And as always, thank you for watching.